This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by Troy Williamson, just one day out now from his middleweight debut, I believe, against Jahi
Yes,
Tucker
mate.
out in Las Vegas. Troy, thank you for your time. How is everything?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Just pretty busy. Got quite a hectic little morning, but all good. Woke up early, just ready to go, mate. Just counting down the hours now, pretty much.
Talking of this move to middleweight, you were a long-time campaigner at 154. What made you believe after the last fight that it was the right time now to move up in weight?
Yeah, it's been like you just said. It's been a long time coming. I should have really moved up 3 or 4 fights ago, but eventually I've moved it now, and I'm really looking forward to just getting the show on the road.
And how did the opportunity come about to box out in Las Vegas against Jahi Tucker?
I've been calling all these fights in the UK for a long time now. You've probably seen nobody in the UK wants to fight. I understand I'm coming off 2 losses, so I'm a very, very high risk, low reward. Got nothing to bring to the table, so that's why I don't want to fight. But they all know that at 160, I'm a force to be reckoned with. So a fight over the pond came, and I believe that it's like a less more dangerous fight than the ones I've been calling for. So jumped at the chance and I've took it. But yeah, this is just an opportunity to show how good I am at 160 and then push on from there.
How important is it for yourself? Obviously, you mentioned calling for these UK fights and no one really giving you any fights because, like you mentioned, high risk, low reward. How important is it that tomorrow night you go out there and you go and get the job done and remind people what Troy Williamson's really about?
Very important. Very important. I've done quite a bit of talking of how good I feel at 160 and how much it's going to be that you're going to see the best of me. So I need to go out there and put on a great performance. But I'm really confident. I've trained hard. I'm in great shape. Physically and mentally feel well, and I genuinely believe that you're going to see the best of me at 160.
And how has that, I guess, first proper weight cut this week, getting down to the 160, how was that weight cut felt in comparison to your other ones at 154?
Yeah, it's good. I've only really just cut the carbs today. Normally, I've had to cut the carbs like 10 days out. I've cut the salt 10 days out, so it's very miserable. It was very miserable, mate, 154, and it was very unhappy. I was unhealthy, and luckily nothing seriously happened in the ring. But like you say, I had a bad cut. I had a bad experience making the weight last time out against Ishmael, and that was a wake up call. Just basically saying my body can't do it no more. So yeah, it's been a lot easier this time. I've been eating a lot more, and I'm happy. See, I'm full of energy. I've been trained this week from fight week, where normally I don't have the energy to even go for a walk. I've been doing plenty of getting steps in, doing a training session twice this week, so I feel great. I'm looking forward to trying all these hours. I'm the man I want to see.
How important is it for yourself? Obviously, moving up in weight, it gives you those extra few pounds, but how important is it that when you're out of camp, because you've got those extra few pounds now or extra less pounds to cut, that you don't balloon up a little bit more in weight outside of camp and you stick to that walk around weight that you already at were before?
Obviously, it is hard to walk around on fighting weight, but you know what? I don't really blow up in weight. You've never really seen me fat. I'm always in shape. I'm always in the gym. So, but yeah, I'm gonna keep my weight somewhere sensible after this win because seeing what's happened with all these VR shows, late pullouts, getting late it's fights within 3 or 4 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm just gonna make sure that I'm ready if any of these fights happen in the call comes.
What do you know about your opponent, Jahi Tucker? He got a record of 13 wins, one loss, one draw, I believe. Looking at what you've seen of him, what do you make of him?
I think he's a good fighter. I think he's very good. He's very slick. But he likes to. Looks like he's got a bit of an ego and he stands and fights. So I think that's going to be his downfall if he stands and tries to trade with me because he didn't look the biggest, if I'm honest. And I feel super strong at the minute. The explosiveness is back. So if he stands and trades, then it could be an early finish. But I'm expecting a good fight. He's young, he's hungry, and he's a home fighter. So I've got it all to do. But I'm really excited and I'm really confident.
Do you feel going into this that you might be possibly getting overlooked by the fans out in America just simply down to the fact that you aren't known, but for us guys over here on the UK shores, we know what a problem that you can be to fighters. Do you feel you're being overlooked a little bit?
I'm not sure. All I know is from the first couple of rounds, obviously they're going to know that their guy's in for a hard night, um, and I think they're going to enjoy my style. So looking forward to going there and stealing a few more fans from the USA, get a big win, and who knows, possibly come back over here.
How much notice have you had for this fight?
I've had 6, 7 weeks. It's just obviously I've not really been able to post anything because it's been bumps and there's been like hiccups with the medicals, and I've done my annual medical in September, but the Nevada State want everything done by the calendar year. And I only found out that out 2 weeks ago, so I've had to do a new medical for 2025, eye test, bloods, brain scan. So I've not been able to post nothing. So people are thinking that's late notes, but now I've had a full camp. I've known 6, 7 weeks of this. So
You mentioned having those hiccups about 2 weeks ago. Was there any point where you thought maybe this fight might not happen and it would be almost essentially back to square one, calling the names out again?
yeah, I did, yeah, because this happened in Dubai back in October. I done a full 10 week camp. And then I remember late in bed on a Sunday, the week before the fight, I got a message saying the show's cancelled with no explanation. Still got no explanation why. So lost out on a full 10 week camp, didn't get no expenses paid for that, which is a bit in the beast, really. So when I got all these messages saying that I need to do with the new games kind of stuff, if you're gonna come back in time, drugs, ophthalmologist, eye exam, I had to go and travel to find all these surgeons. So yeah, I did think fucking hell, is this gonna happen again? But I stayed with it, stayed in the gym, and yeah, we got it all sorted in the year.
Absolutely. I just want to pick your brains on some of the big fights coming up around your weight. We'll go straight into that middleweight division. We see a huge fight at the end of April between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. at 160. I just want to get your thoughts on the weight move for Conor Benn, jumping up from one naturally a 147 fight, obviously last two fights at 154. How dangerous could that move up in weight be for him? But at the same time, what benefits will he take from that?
Well, we'll start with the benefits. The benefits he's not gonna have to put any weight. He'll be able to eat on the day of the weigh-in. So he's obviously gonna go in there super strong. He looks strong. He looks in shape. But the advantages for Chris is maybe he's going to be a bit bigger. But then there's disadvantages because he's 35 years old, he's 36. He's obviously putting down at 160. So you can't really tell. It depends on how much he struggles to do 160 now. Yeah, it's an interesting fight, but I want to go over Chris Eubank win.
How how damaging could that rehydration clause be for Chris? Obviously, you mentioned him struggling to get down to the weight. How big of an impact can that have on his night?
Yeah, it could have an impact because he's not going to be able to rehydrate how he wants to rehydrate. He's not going to be able to put the fluids in the food in that he wants to put in. So it will be a big advantage, yes.
And we know that you sparred Chris Eubank Jr. not too long ago. Just talk to me about them rounds and what did you make of Eubank throughout the rounds that you shared with him?
Yeah, I thought it was good. He was a good thinking fighter, which surprised me. Yeah, you pay for them rounds. Them rounds were elite rounds, very good, solid rounds. Got plenty of rounds together through the weeks. And yeah, he was looking great, good.
From that, where do you think, not just physically, but skill set wise, where do the advantages lie for Chris?
I think he's a lot more like he's got a longer reach. He could keep him on the job. He actually has got a good boxing brain, believe it or not. And see, I think Connor's emotionally invested in the fight. I think he's going to go out there and he's going to really just stick it on to this. So he could possibly walk onto something. So it's interesting.
You mentioned Conor Benn being too emotionally invested. How important is it for him to not let those emotions get the best of him and to try keep a cool, calm, collected head? Because we can see in the build-up how calm Chris
Yeah,
has been.
it is important because if you let that get to you, your game plan's going to go all out the window. You're going to go in there trying to knock him out, swinging. You're going to leave himself wide open. And Chris he's a good timing. He's good. His timing is good. So he could leave himself wide open and he can flip. And I think if he gets hit, I think he can get hurt as you've seen and being put down before. So it's an exciting fight. I'm looking forward to it.
Just looking at some of the things that have been said in the build-up to this fight, Conor Benn has come out and said that if a fighter like Liam Smith, a 154 fighter, can stop Chris Eubank Jr., then he's in trouble against Conor Benn. Do you believe Conor Benn is a harder hitter than Liam Smith?
Nah, I don't believe. I think since he got caught with them performance enhancing drugs in his system, I think he's a shadow of the fighter. He's lost all his explosiveness. He's lost his power. So I don't think he's going to carry any dangers into that fight. If I'm completely honest.
What have you made of Chris Eubank Jr.'s mind games that he's been playing? He's found a good line that he's worked with, calling him a cheat and saying that he'll respect anyone but a drug cheat. What do you believe these mind games are having an effect on Conor Benn, first of all?
I do, but in a way, you've got to respect it because not many people do come out and say what they're thinking. He got caught with a performance enhancing drug, which he's cheated. It's in a system for a reason. So I believe as well. I'm on the same page as Chris. If you're taking drugs in a dangerous sport in boxing, you should be banned for life because it's dangerous as it is. Um, it's as simple as that.
And just lastly, if I was to ask you, how do you believe this fight plays out on the night? Not just a prediction, but round by round, how do you see this fight going, and ultimately, how do you see it coming to a close?
My fight or Chris's fight?
Let's start off with your fight. Let's get one. How does your fight go, first of all, round by
I'm gonna
round?
go out there. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna just press him behind a solid jab and just keep the pressure on him because he's never been in 10 rounds before. He's only young. He's never been in with somebody of my caliber, if I'm honest. So yeah, we're gonna see what he's made of. See if he really has got that dog in him, and I'm gonna make him work.
For you,
You are gonna see a Troy Williamson win. That's sure.
do you feel it comes down to not just obviously you having a better skill set, but experience as well? You've been at higher levels than your opponent.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. It's gonna come down to that. It's gonna come down to a few things. And well, I just know deep inside deep. I think now like I'm gonna be winning Saturday night. I feel good.
Absolutely. And then just the last one, Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn. How does that fight play out round by round, and how does it come to a close?
I see Chris just keeping it long at first for the first 4, 5, 6 rounds, and then applying pressure. You know, he could beat him. He could beat him on points, so he could easily get him out there later on as well.
Absolutely. Troy, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it, especially so close to fight night. And best of luck tomorrow. Have you got a message for the UK fans who'll be tuning in to watch you?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that stayed by me through these certain times. Everybody stuck by me. They all know who they are. Close family and friends. I've got very good supporters sending me well wishes. I've even got people that flew out here we didn't expect. So yeah, I just want to thank all them and to everybody that's doubting me and everybody I know there's people out there that are hoping that I lose. For tuning in Saturday night, you can see a good performance.
Absolutely, Troy. Top man. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, that's right. Bye bye.